Oldies but goldies of this channel will know how much my family and I love to travel. While we mainly feature the magic of Walt Disney World, we do in fact travel to other places, but don't worry, there are more Disney vlogs coming this year. I have shared blogs from Nantucket, New York, Nashville, California, Hawaii, Bermuda, and more. And our travel destinations continue with the new this year. If you're into travel spots via vlogs that take you on adventures, show you everything we're doing and eating, then you should subscribe here, because that is a bulk of what this channel does. We'd love to have you. Feel free to join us. Tell me your favorite travel destinations in the comments below. Let's get that conversation going. We are about to embark to St. Thomas. And for sure, we'll have several videos featuring this tropical paradise, so make sure you're subscribed. While I'm in a vacay mindset, in vacation summer colors, I thought I could answer a question that I get asked quite a bit that deals with weight loss surgery and travel, and kind of the logistics and suggestions as to when you should travel post-op. I got a new lip gloss this week. I went to Sephora to get my birthday gift. If you know, you know. And I know the Sephora sale is coming, but I couldn't hold back. This is the Christian Dior. It's not the viral one. I've had that one. I actually just finished it. It's in my classroom and it's so empty that the tube is clear. Just the little applicator still has the gloss on it, but I am using it to the bitter end because it's so expensive. This is the Dior Addict Lip Maximizer in 30. I don't like it when luxury brands don't put names. Like, I love the name of products, nail polishes, lip gloss. Like, if I'm gonna pay this much, I want it to be named like Punchy Pink or something cute. Petals would be a cute name for this, but I like this one. Remind me of a good vacation color, right? Back to content. Back to the content at hand. Pre-surgery travel is so different than post-op travel is. If you're anything like me, and my hunch is if you're watching this video and you subscribe here, then at some point we connect and we are similar, then perhaps you too used to schedule your vacations in a very food-centric way, like around a menu, around a restaurant. So many of the trips that we took focused on food first. We used to look for long, leisurely, multi-course, beautiful restaurant experiences that would last for literally hours. When we would go to Disney, when I was pre-op, one of the meals, at least one of the meals that we would eat would be at a sit down in each park of every single day. The time here really adds up when you're on vacation. So this has changed, and to be honest, it was not an easy adjustment because it was more about the mindset than the actual food. We will come back to that thought. Let me tell you a personal tale. A week after getting my fresh new gastric sleeve, I traveled to New Hampshire, North Conway, which is where everyone goes when they're going to New Hampshire, in the summer of 2019 to go on a family vacation. My mom had rented this lovely, like, cabin-y ski lodge of a house for my siblings, all of our spouses, all of the kids, and of course my mom and dad to go. We planned days of exploration, Storyland, and lots of family meals, both at the house but at the various restaurants in North Conway as well. North Conway has a very cute, quaint main street. It's adorable. If you live in the Northeast or you're traveling to the Northeast, say like for the fall to do some leaf peeping, North Conway is definitely a recommendation. At that time, I had been cleared to walk, right? In a recent video, I shared that I was walking the day of my surgery, and that's really all I was capable of doing in terms of movement. And I had received clearance from my surgeon quite literally the day that we drove to New Hampshire to attend this family trip. So I wasn't doing this recklessly. My sweet husband, who drove me to my appointment and then was driving us to New Hampshire, told me that he would be happy to drop me off at home on his way to New Hampshire so that I could spend a week like resting and recouping by myself. But I really wanted to go. I wanted those memories with Callie. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do this post-op, and I wanted to see how challenging it would be to go back into normal life in a post-op world. So I went. The house rental was really helpful because it had a full kitchen, which meant that I could store my sugar-free popsicles, my pudding, and of course all of my protein shakes more easily than if we had been in a hotel or a resort where the refrigerator would have been small. I also could close the door to the bedroom that Mark and I had when I was resting, as opposed to being in a hotel where everything is more like an open layout. So the first morning that we woke up in New Hampshire, the family decided, let's go on a walk downtown through the cute Main Street area to go have brunch. It's July. We're all walking. I can do that. I get dehydrated about halfway through the walk. Keep in mind, a week out of surgery, you are on such limited calories. I had exerted them all in like a half an hour. I had to turn around and go back to the house because I was tired, dehydrated, and dizzy. This was a learning moment for me. Yes, life can resume as normal, but I need to give it some time. I used to be, and I'm still working on being more patient, but I used to be the world's perhaps most impatient person and just push myself to the brink of pain, failure, exhaustion in order to say that I had done something. So this was my first like roadblock for my mindset to say, hey girl, you are recovering from surgery. You gotta take it easy. Later in the week, I was able to go to Storyland with my family. We drove there, and walking around in that area is much smaller. Plus, I was much more conscious of staying hydrated. I went more slowly than my family did. And because I was a week and a half out at this point, I had lost enough weight where I could fit into a little car with Callie so we could do a ride together. I think that was my first non-scale victory. I had already weighed myself. I knew I was losing weight. In fact, I vlogged that, but this was my first time feeling my body able to do something that it wasn't able to do pre-op. I am sharing this anecdote with you because I pushed too soon. I sincerely struggled watching my family eat some of my previous favorite things. Cookies were available all the time. There was a lot of fast food intake. Diet Coke was everywhere. There was wine. All of these things that were mental and emotional triggers for me were just out in the forefront, and I could not participate. That was really hard. I had not done the mindset work to prepare myself for that moment. My saving grace at that time were my sugar-free popsicles. I remember watching TV with my family in the evenings while they would all be eating, drinking what they wanted, and I would be like gnawing on these popsicles. They did provide 2 ounces of liquid that you can count towards your day's like overall hydration count, but they were my filler food, if that makes sense. I also couldn't participate in some of the more like leisurely activities. I couldn't go in the hot tub. There was a day that Mark took Callie to these natural springs to swim. My incisions were still too fresh and I couldn't soak them in water like that yet. So I missed out on that too. Because of my limited calories and movement, I was more tired than everyone else, so I needed to go to bed earlier than they did. I had to make adjustments on this trip and couldn't ignore the fact that I was freshly post-op. No s'mores for me on this vacation. While I don't want to derail anyone's family vacation, I want to make you aware of the reality of a scheduled vacay freshly when you are out of surgery. It's crucial that you are aware of your own mindset and physical limitations before you embark on a journey. Let's go back to the adjustment from a food-centric trip. We do still menu peruse. I'm a planner. I like to know where we're eating and what on that menu can fulfill my protein expectations. And I want to get excited about the experiences we're about to have. But we've really switched gears in how we tackle a vacation. When we're going somewhere tropical, like St. Thomas, I really want to explore the area and put in priority time to really relax and soak up that time I have in this place. I don't want to spend hours of my day in a restaurant anymore. This has required practice and traveling to places that allow us to kind of do both. Yes, this was a mindset adjustment for me, but I think the biggest adjustment was for my husband, Mark. For all of our relationship, I had been on board with our food-centric trips, whether they were for the day or whether these were longer 2-week luxurious vacations. So for him, this was not his mindset, and we had to kind of come to terms with how does vacation change, or what does it look like when I'm post-op. And I think our family has honestly benefited from that. Our compromise has been that for one of the afternoons or evenings while we're on vacation, we each pick several spots to go to, restaurants or bars, and then we do something that we call progressive meal, where we will start with like pre-dinner, pre-appetizer cocktails at one place, and then we'll go to the next place for appetizer bites, and then we'll go to the next place for our main course, and then we'll go to the next place for dessert, and then we'll go to one other place for drinks post-dinner. So we're fitting in all of the cultural restaurants and bites that my husband really wants to experience on a pace that I can keep up with. So I can go have a drink, and then we're gonna drive for a half an hour, and then I can take little bites of an appetizer, and then we can walk to the next place so I digest. It just requires a little more planning. We have done this in bar crawl form in Disney, which I absolutely loved, and I will leave that linked here. And we also do this literally every time we travel. It's very much like eating around the world in Epcot, just in a new city or a new destination. Let's talk tips on how to do this post-op successfully, if possible. Perhaps the biggest tip is I would avoid travel post-op until you are eating solid foods again. It is, of course, entirely possible to travel somewhere pre-solid food phase. It just requires more prep, and you have to do the mental work to know you can't participate in normal meals. If you are going pre-solid food, you would likely need to tote all of your liquids with you. Know that because you are on a limited supply of calories, sister, you're gonna be more tired, so you will need to build in rest time or breaks to accommodate your body. And you will dehydrate faster, particularly if you are in warmer climates, so you need to bring water with you, be taking those slow, steady sips, and know that it's okay if you are pooped before the party even begins. In general, it is easier and more fun to travel when you've hit the solid food stage. You've given yourself the time to get to know your new tummy a little bit better, so you're more likely to be comfortable traveling at the solid food phase post-op. My tip number 2 might anger some people, but my recommendation is to travel somewhere that you've been before. You know the lay of the land. You know the restaurants you like. This is helpful in avoiding that FOMO, that fear of missing out on something in a brand new place. This just gives you a little bit of leeway when having new experiences in a not new location, so that you can calm some of those like traveling nerves. I always say I'm someone who doesn't like to go back to the same place twice, but that's a lie. Disney, St. Thomas is even a repeat for me, though I was only there on a cruise for a day in high school, so I'm a liar. Also, apologies if you can hear my tummy rumbling. Tip number 3, pack your protein. Shakes, bars, peanut butter pouches, your own protein powder. You need to travel with this now. You can bring, excuse me, I'm trying to film, tummy? How very rude. Bring with you some stability in terms of a meal or snacks. For me, that's breakfast. I know that with my breakfast shakes, I am getting half my day's worth of protein before we even set out on an adventure. So sometimes I will pack it in an actual checked bag, putting everything in some type of big gallon Ziploc so that way nothing explodes, or if it does, it's safe. Usually I have it shipped down to wherever we're going, particularly if that's Disney World. And if we're going on a smaller trip like to New Hampshire, I just travel with it. Along the same vein is tip 4 to make sure that you are scheduling and bringing all of your vitamins and supplements with you. The goal in post-op travel is to stick to the same routine that you would at home for baseline health, which includes things like protein, vitamins, supplements, and of course, hydration. Speaking of which, tip 5, bring a water bottle with you. Not a plastic one, like a reusable one. You know I forget to do this. I have mentioned it in so many videos that I am always dehydrated when I'm on vacation, and that makes me feel so bad when I come home because I forget to pack my Yeti to bring with me. I did bring it to Nashville with me on our most recent trip. Did I use it? No. No, I need a better solution. If you have a suggestion for me, can you put it in the comments below? But don't be like me. Stay hydrated, bring your water bottle, actually fill it. That will be a goal for St. Thomas. And my last tactical tip is to prep before you go. Before you leave, spend a week getting super hydrated. Don't skip your supplements. Don't skip your vitamins. Schedule those puppies. Get extra protein. Work toward a higher protein count the week or 2 prior to you traveling. You are preparing your body for a little change in scenery. So we want to make sure that we have a solid foundation prior to arrival at our beautiful destination. Remember, you will likely need to go more slowly, at least at first, on this vacation than from those of years past, and that's okay. Enjoy the bites you get to take. Make them worth your while. Embrace this new lifestyle. Travel is going to be so much easier for you in a post-op world 6 months out, forever. Because your body size will eventually have more energy, you're comfortable in plane seats, you get to pick cute outfits if that appeals to you. You're more comfortable in a bathing suit. Like overall, the travel hesitation is just for that first brand newbie post-op phase. Looking back to New Hampshire, I would still go if I were in that place then, but I would do things differently. I would ask some things of my family to put some boundaries in place. And because they love me, I think that they would have made those accommodations. I just didn't ask. And ideally, I would have done any work on coping skills before surgery so that in that week, I would have some things to lean on rather than just sheer grit and willpower. So for those of you looking forward to or are nervous about travel post-op, girl, I got you. It's gonna be awesome no matter when you go. Just know that there are things you have to do to prepare yourself physically, but especially mentally. There may be conversations that are needed with your family, with your partner, with your spouse, with whomever you're traveling with, just to let them know about your needs before you get there. This is good for everyone. So we are in a travel state of mind. If you are interested in watching me pack, which is kind of an epic one because I started so early, and then how I prepare myself for vacation, like all of the glow up things that I'm currently doing, and then of course St. Thomas vlogs, stay tuned, give this video a thumbs up, please subscribe here. We would love to have you. And until then, my loves, I hope you are having an incredible start to April, a magical week. Happy Easter if you celebrate, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.